Morning Show.
We're just days away from one of the Valley's biggest community fundraising events. It's the Desert AIDS Walk, and it's this Saturday at Ruth Hardy Park in Palm Springs. There's still time to register. And last year, the event was all virtual, but this year, it's back in a big way, and the theme is Together Again. I sat down with the director of brand marketing at DAP Health, Stephen Hinkey. We're taking a look at what this walk means to the Coachella Valley community as a whole, especially looking back at what's happened during the pandemic and looking forward to what work still needs to be done. This year's AIDS Walk has the theme Together Again just because of what we went through last year. And for a lot of people, this year was full, this past year, 2020, and the first half of 2021 was full of isolation. So why is it so important that Desert AIDS Walk is back in a big way this year?
Yeah. Well, I think it's important because, again, coming together, we are gregarious. I mean, human beings like to be together. It's good for our mental health. It's good for our physical health. And when we couldn't do that for a year or a year and a half, you can see already the impact that's having for mental wellness across this country. And we're only seeing the very beginning of it. It's one of the reasons why DAP Health just recently renovated and is expanding its mental health clinic.
Swing, swing, swing. Jazz hands. Come on, light it up, light it up.
I think this valley, people move here because they want to be part of. It's important to be part of a solution. And so Together Again, I think, is really important because it's going to be the first time that our donors, our community in action that support DAP Health are able to gather in a space. They're going to be able to hear from our CEO an update on what DAP has been doing during the pandemic and what we plan to do in the coming year. And so I expect it to be a day of a lot of maybe virtual hugs and a lot of hellos and a lot of how are yous and just a lot of reconnection.
I know that DAP was pretty powerful in terms of what you offered during the pandemic. You were one of the first clinics to open up and be like, we're going to test people.
Responding to COVID-19 is in our DNA.
DAP Health was one of the first clinics to open a COVID clinic during the pandemic. In fact, our leadership team acted very quickly, coming in over a weekend and converting one of our clinics to the COVID triage clinic. But DAP remains committed to ending the COVID pandemic. I mean, that is the work that DAP started doing, was ending the HIV epidemic. DAP will always use the roadmap it gained during the AIDS crisis. Looking forward is really about healthcare equity. Looking forward is taking the lessons we've learned from this pandemic, which was how folks who didn't have access to healthcare didn't fare as well as those who did, and really trying to fix that. And so part of what you're going to see DAP Health do in the future is continue to expand our physical footprint, continue to expand the ability we have to provide affordable housing, to provide primary care, to provide HIV testing and treatment, to provide mental health care, and so many other things that this community so desperately needs.